and welcome to the Diplomatic Encounter. Of course, your favorite program that explores the relations between Zimbabwe and other countries as well as international entities. My name is Shinogun Selio, and in this week's episode we are featuring the inauguration of a fantastic festival in arts between Zimbabwe and India. India in the Sunshine City Festival is held courtesy of the Indian Embassy in Zimbabwe. Indian artists are invited to collaborate with Zimbabwean counterparts in performances that intend to bolster people-to-people relations. Officially opening the festival, Ambassador Ramsang Masakwi, Indian envoy to Zimbabwe, expressed that the festival and its timing are essential elements in defining the relations between India and Zimbabwe.
I am delighted this evening to present to you the second edition of the India in the Sunshine City Festival, a joint effort of the Embassy of India, Harare and Teamwork Arts. The festival was launched exactly a year ago with a lot of excitement and anticipation, and surely it has succeeded in reinforcing the narrative of seamless and harmonious relationship of the two beautiful peoples of Asia and Africa. The success of the festival echoes the appetite of the Zimbabweans to receive any new rich cultural offerings, including from that of vibrant, dynamic, diverse, and culturally pluralistic India. Timing of the festival is consciously chosen. It is chilly tonight. The opening of the festival is timed to mark somewhat the end of the winter, and as it closes 10 days later from today, we intend that by then you will be stepping into summer season. Therefore, it is also a festival that bridges the old with the new, the cold with the warm. It is, as it may, a medium of change. It intends to bring new blood, excitement, and new experience as on year basis.
In an exclusive interview on the sidelines of the launch, Ambassador Masakwi noted expansion in the nature and content of the event as it ropes in the business community as well as representatives of government departments.
You are aware that this beautiful festival of India on the Sunshine City started last year in 2016. This is the second edition of the same festival, and in fact on 16th of this month, that was a few days ago, we actually had the opening of that event in the National Gallery, and that was the exhibition of Mahatma in Me. That was the exhibition which we started. Today is the opening reception of the entire festival, where we will be showcasing how the program for the entire festival will run. Of course, there is the organizer, there's a teamwork who will be telling you about the details of the program. But in brief, for this evening, we have invited some of the ministers. We have, of course, invited the sponsors. We have invited the dignitaries from the government. We have invited top business people who we thought will be present here to see how the Festival of India this year in 2017 will run. You will notice that from the flyer that the festival this year is of more variety, as well as the content is much more richer than last year. As encouraged by the success that we had last year, we have expanded the activities, we have expanded the program in terms of content as well as in terms of there's a variety. So this evening is the inauguration of that event, and we're happy that we are starting off well.
The ambassador went on to elaborate on the derivation of the concept.
I think we talk about the India-Zimbabwe people-to-people relationship. We have a rich content, not needless to go back to the 17th century, which we have been talking about. But let me repeat that again, that this is follow-up to the very long time association between the peoples of India and peoples of Zimbabwe. And of course, this is to reinforce continuation of that beautiful narrative that we have between the peoples of these two countries. And as you are aware again that one of your princes has settled down in Goa, and you have a vibrant and peaceful Indian community who are harmoniously integrated with the Zimbabwean society. And we thought that this festival will reinforce showcasing of India's multi-pluralistic society and multicultural society, as also your beautiful country where you are a fully art and cultural loving society where these two cultures, these two art-loving people, and these two program can blend together, come together, that will come out in a beautiful way, so that the varieties that we have, the varieties that you have, can come together, and it's a confluence of two beautiful cultures, beautiful artworks that we are promoting.
Since the festival is a gesture of entwining the arts, one would want to know if there is any collaboration that is taking place during the event.
Like how we did last year, there's a Bollywood team is already here. They will be conducting workshops that will start, of course, on a daily basis, mostly on 26th when we have the India Day. They will have a workshop, Bollywood workshop. They will have separate workshops also. And you will see the collaboration in a sense of the Zimbabwean dancers coming in to perform, to entirely choreograph the Bollywood show that is coming up in the coming days, to be completely collaborated with the local dancers. That just 4 dancers from India have come in, whereas there will be 24 or 25 dancers on the stage when real thing happens. So like how we did last year, this year also we'll get the local talents incorporated with the dancers that have come from India, and they will have a collaboration, and that's a beautiful thing. Just to remind you that last year, Klein, who was one of the dancers, after he finished that, the talent was identified, and he is on scholarship in India learning Bharatanatyam dance, which is a very classical form of dance. And he got the privilege of performing in front of the Honorable President of India along with his guru. And I think that's a big thing. He was extremely happy.
Very positive results obtained from the first anniversary there.
And again, if you're talking of collaboration again, we have these yoga sessions that we're going to start on 26, 28 and 29. We have no yoga teacher coming from India, but we identify the talent from local yoga school teachers. We have Art of Living here, we have Brahmakumaris, and we involve the Yoga Teachers Association who have come forward to collaborate in this. And this is again one way of creating awareness about the benefit of yoga, and this is again a collaboration. Last year but not the least, which is going to be the biggest or the most important event of this festival, is on 26th evening, where we are celebrating the India Day, where in the morning we will start with the yoga session, in between will be a Bollywood workshop, and there will be other collaborations, and there will be a food coming in from various vendors to showcase and to gather to the taste and palate of various people here in Harare, that is in Harare Garden. But that day will culminate with the program in the afternoon, or in fact in the evening from 6:30 onwards, where the Gabriel Cafe is a music band from India is coming, and your legend, the music legend Oliver Tuku has accepted to come in to be a part of this wonderful festival. He will perform that evening, and also our maestro, violin maestro, L. Subramaniam, Dr. L. Subramaniam, will be performing that evening. And final, all these three groups, 3 bands will perform together, and that culminates the day of that. So this is again a collaboration, And just you are talking about collaboration, let me also mention to you that following last year's collaboration, the organizers of this festival, that is teamwork, they run a beautiful, even the biggest literature festival in the world, which is called JLF, Jaipur Literature Festival. They have invited authors from Zimbabwe to come and participate and be a part of that wonderful festival. That takes place normally in January, and this year is over, so next year 2018 they'll be holding that. They have already extended invite to some of the authors in Zimbabwe to become a part of that. So this is the outcome of the collaboration or the festival that we started last year. I think this is going to expand, and it's going to grow bigger. This is going to become better and faster, and I think all people should come and be a part of this wonderful occasion.
True, true. It should be everyone's hope too. You're watching The Diplomatic Encounter. Join us in the second segment. Welcome to the second segment of the Diplomatic Encounter, where today we're featuring the recent India in the Sunshine City Festival that was launched recently in Harare. We spoke to the Indian ambassador to Zimbabwe on the sidelines of the launch. In terms of business-to-business interactions between the two countries, this is what the ambassador had to say.
We have been talking about this India-Zimbabwe business relationship. I talk about the negative perception that people have about the Zimbabwe's economy. But having said that, in the last 1.5 year now, this is August, but in this year, starting from January, I have brought in 5 business delegations from India. It was in February, then March, then it was in May, then June again, and in August, where CZI has the annual conference, and the biggest National Chamber of Commerce, that the CII, participate with the high-profile business people there. So this perception is slowly, vanishing, and people have come to know about Zimbabwe business prospect and opportunities, and we are exploring. And I think it's slowly growing. This is one of the challenges that have come here. Unlike in other countries where there's a vibrant business relationship, here because of this negative perception of the business community, that is the outcome of the perception that is created by the external forces or some generated from within the country. This perception is there, but that is the biggest challenge. So as I said, in other countries where I have served, normally the embassy's work is to facilitate when the business people make a decision to come in and do business in that country. But here, I am causing them to come in. I have to motivate them to come in and say that these are the opportunities, these are the areas where you can invest, you can explore, to have partnership, to have joint venture, and to invest and to do business. So this is the difference between the country where I am in now, with a lot of opportunities, and other countries where the perception is not as negative as it is here. What I have been telling them is that in 2016 alone, the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe has taken measures and made legislations on ease of doing business. And one of them, which is beautifully coming up, is the special economic zone, where Victoria Falls, Bulawayo, and Harare have been declared. And when the structure of this special economic zone are completely concretized, we will see how we can persuade, or we can ask the business people from my country to come in and to be a beneficiary and to be a part of this beautiful program that the government of Zimbabwe is creating. What simply I want to say is that the government of Zimbabwe is making a lot of effort that we recognize. And this is a good opportunity for me to use this and to go back to my business community and say, look, the government is making a genuine effort.
On the social fraternity, Ambassador Masakwi described Zimbabweans as a humorous people.
I have been telling my people, or the business people or visitors coming into Zimbabwe, I don't have to tell also, because if they stay on here for 2-3 days, they know themselves that the people are extremely polite, people are very courteous, people are educated, and we say that the difference of culture in India is we really don't greet each other, say, hello, how are you doing? We normally don't start with that, maybe because we have a huge population, we don't have time to do that, and if we start doing that, then it will not work, we'll be doing just that. But here in Zimbabwe, you have to necessarily start with the good morning, how are you? And those are the things that people say, oh, this is a wonderful thing. So socially and culturally, and people are so comfortable once they come in here. Even people who have come in here for the first time and going around meeting people, they are so comfortable, they just become so relaxed. They came in tensed till airport, but by the time they reach hotel and work out for a few hours, they are so relaxed and they are so happy, and they immediately and instantly recognize that Zimbabweans are very friendly, courteous, and polite and educated, especially everyone from down bottom there to up, everyone speak English. That is the most beautiful thing that our people are appreciative of and like about this country.
He finally implored people to attend the ongoing festival in the capital.
We have done our bit to reach out to the Zimbabweans, employing the PR company, giving out the flyers, putting up posters, using social media medium to reach out to people to tell them, look, this is one of the product that we are bringing here, and this is not to showcase our own self. As I have mentioned to you, it's about collaboration between the two countries. It's for mutual benefit. You come up with your talent, we'll bring in our own best talent, let them come together, let them converge and come up with a beautiful third product. You bring in one product, I bring in another product, and the product of this confluence or this convergence can be a beautiful one. Let's create that. This is a message that we are trying to give to other people. And as I say, this is not my festival. As far as I'm concerned, we create it, and we want to create a narrative of partnership. We want to create a narrative of collaboration where two peoples can join together and create a beautiful thing. And this, I say, is not mine, not his, not hers, but this is ours. I want city of Harare to own this festival and become ours.
Of course, it has to be our social duty to interact. You're watching the Diplomatic Encounter. Join us for the third and final segment of the Diplomatic Encounter, where today we're featuring the recent India in the Sunshine City Festival that was launched in Harare. Welcome to the third and final segment of the Diplomatic Encounter, where today we are featuring the India in the Sunshine City Festival, which is ongoing and was launched recently in Harare. Dr. Biggie Samwanda, who was representing the Honorable Minister Abednego Ngwe, reiterated the length of the relations between Zimbabwe and India.
Our relationship with India dates back from the Munumtapa state, where it involved the exchange of people, goods and trades, especially on jewelry, textiles and minerals. And if I may draw your attention to the historical fact that Zimbabwean heir to the Munumtapa state, that is Don Miguel, who was also a prince, a professor and priest, and heir of the imperial throne of the Mutapa state, lived in the Indian island of Goa. And this is the beginning of what we see today in the relationships that we have had with India. Where up to now, when you get to Goa, you find there's a pillar there which gives honor and reference to his astuteness as a scholar of repute, where they give tribute to his intellectual stature.
He also stressed on the importance of the festival as an example of effective cultural diplomacy.
Today, if we are to look at Zimbabwe and India, especially in this, through this festival of India in the Sunshine City, Harare, we see the importance of cultural diplomacy taking place between Zimbabwe and India. Cultural diplomacy in the sense that our artists and those from India are interacting and exchanging ideas of how they take through their paces of creativity, and in the process they are learning from each other. And it means, as Zimbabweans, we are understanding the Indian culture, and the Indian artists are also understanding our Zimbabwean culture, not only through their performances, but through the costumes, through the cuisines, our cultural expressions as a people in Zimbabwe, and in Indians' cultural expressions as a people in India gets to be understood and known by either of the countries. And in the process, we grow our arts. In the process, we grow our friendship. And in the process, we promote the two peoples of India and Zimbabwe. And that is a positive thing. If we are to look at the cultural aspect and cultural diplomacy. I would also want to say we are in the process of signing a memorandum of understanding. It is still in the pipeline, where we want to enhance cultural exchange programs, where Zimbabwean performers also travel to India to learn, where Indian performers also travel to Zimbabwe to learn. Not only in performances. India is a leading light in terms of film and television, and in Zimbabwe we are keen to establish our own film industry, and we've got a lot that we would learn by associating and signing memorandum of understanding with India. So it's not only in the field of performance arts, also when you are looking at India and their industry on textiles. It's a niche we wish to pick from them and ensure that our economy, as well as we empower our people in Zimbabwe, they also learn one or two things from the Indian community, which has built itself from small to medium enterprises. And we are pulling a leaf from them as we promote our own small to medium enterprises, especially in the areas of the arts, culture, and heritage.
Without sound intervention by the business community, even countries cough. Conveners of the festival applauded the support they are getting from the business locally.
The response and support we received last year has encouraged us to expand the content of the festival this year to include more items to make it bigger, better, so that the festival will continue to add value to the culture and art-loving people and city of Harare in particular, and Zimbabwe in general. I urge you all to continue supporting so that it grows even bigger, better, more inclusive, and be on an important mark on the cultural calendar of Zimbabwe.
Without the support of so many of you, it would have been impossible for us to come in here too. And definitely the plan is to be here, not leave your beautiful country very soon, and hopefully have the festival part of this country's cultural calendar.
One business representative assured support for the festival as it brings people together.
Yes, we are very proud to sponsor this event, India in the Sunshine City, which is a cultural event promoting Indian arts and culture, essentially because one of our company's values is to promote cultural diversity. So it falls in line with our company's value and also company's strategy.
It's an honor, it's a privilege. We are all here today to celebrate the opening of our annual festival here, India in the Sunshine City. It is it's a proud moment for all of us. This is the second year in this country where it's not easy to do stuff, and especially we do feel that while we all witness stride across the world, it's important for such festivals to take place because eventually they bring nations together, they bring people together.
For more details, visit our Facebook page, that is The Diplomat Zimbabwe, or you can watch our YouTube channel, The Diplomatic Encounter Zimbabwe, or you can WhatsApp us on 0718 438 270, or you can call us on 0772 692 915.
You have been watching The Diplomatic Encounter, of course, your favorite program that explores the relations between Zimbabwe and other countries as well as international entities. Today we were exploring the relations between Zimbabwe and India as we were covering the recent launch of the India in the Sunshine City Festival that is ongoing and was launched in Harare recently. From me, Chinogu Teliu, and the rest of the crew behind the scenes, remember, it is our social duty to interact. Stay blessed.